Black Lives Matter. Is that a phrase that has been hijacked by homegrown terrorists for their own purposes? Or is this a movement that could have been a positive force were they to have made the right decisions? We seek answers and definition. Oh, the sky has fallen, stock prices collapsed, people panicking in the streets. Then why are those insisting that what happened in China is still good for America? He is the man who has been at the core of a nation in change due to being attacked on our own shores. We go 1-on-2 with former Veep Dick Cheney and his daughter over the need for a stronger America. And in telling it like it is, the war in America being fueled by those who are part of the culture of entitled arrogance. Come on and join me. I'm going to pick a fight. I'm Ed Berliner. This is The Hardline for Wednesday, September 2nd, 2015.
On the way back, the officer leading the parade kept talking into his microphone and saying things to the crowd like, stay off the medium, do that. He was laughing and joking with the marchers, so then the marchers kind of started chanting that towards him, and it was more playful than anything.
Yeah, pigs in a blanket. A joke, right? Black Lives Matter may have started as a movement designed to make people think and perhaps even evoke positive change. But in light of recent events, calls from alleged members of the group for the killing of cops, and making light of frying pigs in a blanket, an obvious reference to killing police officers, it's become obvious to a certain faction of intelligent society that this is not a group seeking positive change. They may indeed be just another band of homegrown terrorists. But let's be down the middle. Is it possible this was an honorable movement that was hijacked? Or is it the thinking that it's just thugs and killers and making this the right way to go? All right, let's see if we can get some real answers now. She is host of the program Stacy on the Right on KFTK FM News Talk 97.1 in the St. Louis, Missouri market, also member of the Black leadership group Project 21 and critical of the Black Lives Matter movement, Stacy Washington. We're also joined by columnist for the Daily Beast covering politics, race, and culture, whose recent article is entitled Black Lives Matter's Big Mistake, Barrett Holmes Pitner. I want to thank you both for joining us. And Stacy, I'm going to begin with you first up. Has Black Lives Matter devolved into what could be considered homegrown terror?
Well, I mean, if you look at the recent events, all of the shootings that are going on around the country and the amount of violence that's being directed towards police officers and law enforcement officers right now, you have to wonder where all of that's coming from and why it's coming up right now. If you look at the rhetoric that they've been using, it's been divisive, it's been violent, and it's wrong. So I do give them some of the blame.
When you talk about giving them some of the blame, there are people saying that, wait a minute, we in the media are extrapolating this. They're not really calling for any violence against cops. Wait a minute, though. This whole pigs in a blanket, fry away, these whole marching issues, they're saying that this is a joke. Stacey, do we need to just cut through it and say, stop trying to fool us here? There are those people who are running this now who want this to be about killing cops and creating insurrection. Or am I being too harsh?
No, I don't think it's too harsh. I mean, if you're on the ground, I live in St. Louis and I've been to Ferguson and I've seen firsthand how these people yell in police officers' faces, we know where you live, we know who your wife is, we'll come get you, we'll come get your kids. There's a lot of violent, direct, face-to-face contact between the Black Lives Matter protesters and police officers across the country, and it's wrong and it should be stopped. And until they stop it, they have to bear the blame for the activities that come out of that negative behavior.
Barrett, I mentioned one of your articles, but I also want to mention another article that you had out called How Black Lives Matter Can Really Matter. And one of the first things you called it was a decentralized structure. So I put it to you, basically the same thing here. Is it possible that this is just being hijacked, or are we seeing the reality of what the Black Lives Matter organizers want this to be about insurrection?
Well, I'd say hijacking would be the wrong word. It starts out, it's a movement. It's a bunch of people gathering and trying to peacefully protest, and then it's organically grown over the course of a year. And in that growth, there are definitely going to be voices within it that people aren't encouraging, that are going to be saying like negative words that people should not ever condone. Like, we're not going to condone violence towards anyone, law enforcement, anybody in America. You can't actually condone that. But when you have such a large outpouring of emotion and of people congregating, there's going to be some voices that aren't unwelcome. And as it evolves, which is what's happening now, they're trying to create like an organizational structure with greater focus that's, trying to interact in ways with the DNC or rebuffing those interactions. So it's a natural evolution of like an organic movement of people and turning that into an organization.
Okay, so I'm going to take that from what you exactly said, organically grown. I'll give you that, all right? But is it not fair to say that as this grows, as you get this one side of it that is out there preaching violence, showing violence, trying to get this sort of insurrection out here, that there is no one at the core of Black Lives Matter, anybody who started this, who's coming out and saying, wait a minute, stop. This is not what we wanted. This is not what this is about. Barrett, we don't hear anybody like that saying anything like that.
Well, I'd have to disagree with the fact that there's plenty of people saying that they do not condone violence or threatening other people. But we don't hear them.
We don't hear them, though. We don't. Is it the matter that the media is not covering them? We're not paying attention? Because I got to tell you, I did a search here, and I've been looking for hours trying to find somebody from Black Lives Matter saying that this is not what we want. I couldn't find it.
Right, and so that's actually part of the decentralized structure that I referenced to, where what's happening now is now that Black Lives Matter is becoming, people want to hear a unified voice coming from it and not just protests and people in the streets voicing grievances, and they're looking for that voice. And what's happening now is they're trying to create that organizational structure. And, of course, everybody would love to hear that voice that will answer all their questions immediately, but sometimes these things take time. But I've participated in protests at Black Lives Matter, and not once would I ever condone violence towards anybody else, and the people that I'm out there.
But you have heard people around you, though. But wait a minute, very briefly, you have heard people around you, or have you heard people around you in these demonstrations calling for violence?
No. These demonstrations, the purpose has always been peaceful protests, where people go out and they will express frustrations, but it's not like an organized horde of people promoting violence towards others. That is not it at all.
Then let me get to this. Stacy, taking all this, what we've heard here now, is it not then the responsibility of black leaders in this country, even if they are not involved in Black Lives Matter, to get out there in front of the cameras, to get out there in front of the media and to say, this is not what we want. We are not out here to kill cops or to create violence. Where are they right now, Stacy? I don't hear them either.
Well, they've been very effective at getting the kind of media coverage that they want for their events. Whenever they have something that's going to go down, whether it's blocking off a highway or shutting down a police station or shutting down a mall, they always make sure to contact media and have someone there with a camera that can get some on-air footage of them talking about why they're there. So if they wanted to change the narrative here, the first thing out of their mouths would be, we're a nonviolent movement. Anyone who espouses violence towards police officers or anyone else isn't a part of Black Lives Matters. That's the simplest way to get that message out there, and they're not doing that. And I understand that any individual may have attended their protests and have not had the experience, but the overwhelming majority of their protests have involved tossing things, throwing things, water bottles, getting within the physical, personal space of police officers, violence, violent rhetoric, threatening things, setting things on fire. I mean, it's just awful what kinds of things have come out of the Black Lives Matter movement. So I just don't buy it, because that's not my experience here in St. Louis or anywhere else that I've been where they've had protests.
Barrett, do we not have to tell people, and I use the phrase entitled arrogance, whether you're black, white, blue, green, I don't care what you are. Do we need to tell people, stop getting in the face of cops, stop getting out of your car, stop trying to create something, stop trying to push something, because it seems a lot of the videos we're seeing and people who are out there, they want to push the confrontation. They want to get the cop to smack them, shoot them, kill them, whatever they possibly can. Don't we need to tell people of all races, black, white, whatever, stop being stupid and stop being arrogant towards law enforcement?
Well, frankly, you can't disagree with telling people to stop being stupid. But I'd say, what's happening a lot is when a large amount of African Americans congregate, people like to have the discussion as if there's like an inherent threat of violence with that. And if they're going to approach cops and have discussions with cops, there's like violence is right around the corner. And I think that's actually one of the biggest things we need to combat, where if people are upset about something and they need to talk to law enforcement, the people who are supposed to protect and understand their grievances and relate to them at a personal level, one of the big issues about policing is that police or officers are patrolling communities that they don't have a vested interest in it. It makes it very difficult to have these conversations.
But we are trying to change that, though. You will admit that at least there's an effort to try and change that in the country, yes?
Totally. I think there's without a doubt an effort to try to change. And I think the Black Lives Matter movement is pushing that, because what we're talking about is systemic oppression, systemic problems where like maybe the instructions or whatever people are being told to do just aren't adequate enough. It's not like a personal attack on people, on white people or Asian people or black people. It's structures that are making it difficult for people to be their best selves.
Fair. I've only got 20 seconds, Stacy. Would you agree? Tell people just stop the arrogance. Stop the entitlement.
You know, and I'm speaking as a daughter of a law enforcement officer. My father's a police chief, and I can tell you there's no way to get a police officer to agree with you if you're in his personal space screaming and spitting in his face. But if you want to have a conversation about how policing methods can improve, then you go to your city council, you go to your municipality, and you talk to them about that.
We are all out of time, but I got to tell you, this is a fascinating conversation. You're both going to be back, I promise. Stacy on the Right, heard Saturday nights, 5 to 7 p.m. Central Time on FM News Talk 97.1, St. Louis, Missouri. Barrett Holmes Pitner, read him, as a matter of fact. Find his articles on the electronic pages at thedailybeast.com. I thank you both for being with us. Stay with us. The Hardline continues.